Hello, everyone. Hope you are all doing well and had a great week. I'm going to be doing my persuasive speech on environmental conservation. My question is, should we care about protecting our parks, lands, and beaches? My answer, of course, is yes, and I'm going to attempt to convince you of the same. So in 1916, President Woodrow Wilson signed the act creating the National Park Service. And this was really the start of kind of having that awareness to protect lands in America. And ever since then, there's been a lot of change and a lot of pushing to protect our national parks. There's a few uh, environmental acts that I'd like to mention. I got this from the EPA's website. First, we have the Clean Water Act of 1972, and that regulates discharge of pollutants into the waters of the United States and regulates the quality standards for surface waters. The Clean Air Act of 1970 is a comprehensive federal law that regulates air emissions from stationary and mobile sources. Among other things, this law authorizes EPA to establish national ambient air quality standards to protect public health and public welfare, and to regulate emissions of hazardous air pollutants. Also, there is a more recent one done in 2000, which is the Beaches Environmental Assessment and Coastal Health Act. So it's a newer act, and it is supposed to reduce the risk of disease to users of the national coastal recreation waters and beaches. So with all these policies in place and more that I haven't even mentioned yet, there are still some problems with the current policies in place that allow for some kind of damaging loopholes, I guess you could say. For example, when the government shut down in December of 2018, it shut down, I believe it was December 22nd until January 25th of 2019, lasting a total of 35 days. And during this time, most non-essential government employees were temporarily terminated, including many employees from the National Park Service. And this actually had a detrimental effect on many national parks in America. One of those is Joshua Tree National Park, which sustained much damage while being unsupervised. There was a lot of graffitiing on rocks. There was a lot of off-roading, which trampled a lot of wildlife they were trying to grow. There was a lot of toilets that were overflowing, damaging the trees. And this is all due to the fact that they didn't actually like close the parks down, set up barriers, a lot like not allowing people to get in. They just simply opened the road, and there was just no one supervising at the time. And so because of that, for those 35 days, there was a lot of damage that, in a lot of cases, it's irreversible. And so that's just one example of the detrimental effects of something unexpected like a government shutdown that can affect national parks so much. So in Genesis 1:26 says, "Then God said, 'Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over the livestock, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth.'" So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. And God blessed them. And God said to them, "Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over every living thing that moves on the earth." So clearly, we can see that having dominion is far just being like someone's boss, or just having all the power. It comes with a lot of responsibilities, and one of that responsibilities are to protect our environment, protect nature, our God-given beautiful nature that we have. It's to protect it, to watch over it, to make sure that nothing detrimental happens on a global level. So we clearly have a responsibility to protect our environment, as stated here in the Bible in Genesis. And so I want to focus on how we really improve this. Now, there's obviously a lot of ideas now. Simply, people need to care more about the environment in order to do this, they must spend time outside and recognize the God-given environment around us that is nature and all of its beauty. Although we are in a current crisis with the coronavirus pandemic, however, there are positive impacts of this global pandemic. Many people are exercising and finding this new kind of a love for the outdoors because there's really nothing else that they can do. And a lot of people, after being cooped up inside their house with their family for, so many days in a row, they kind of want to go out and explore. They want to go to a national park or go to a city park or whatever and just enjoy nature. And I think that people are slowly becoming used to the idea of going outside more and getting more physical activity. And I think there's a lot of positive things that we can find, even though this obviously is a very negative event and a very unfortunate event with the coronavirus outbreak. But I think that it's kind of giving people an opportunity to say, hey, wait, there's something really important here, and this nature relaxes me and it's beautiful, and we need to protect it more. And especially in certain circumstances, like a government shutdown, there need to be policies in place where if something like that happens, there needs to be people that are still out there, on the watch. There's going to be still rangers out there that are protecting the lands that we're trying to protect. So my hope is that this newfound love for the outdoors will continue to grow even after this crisis is over, and there will be more concern and a feeling of responsibility for our beautiful national parks and beaches and our environment as a whole. So I hope that this persuasive speech persuaded some of you, and I am looking forward to your feedback. God bless.